This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
And boom!
Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, and cans a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
We don't go nowhere. Next question.
NFL's nothing but a racket. He's a rube.
Yeah, I always love that one.
Cam Dantzler, what are you doing?
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Boy, how disappointing is that?
Jet lag disadvantage. Circadian misalignment.
And he's loose!
Stand up, Ford Field! Stand up!
There's only one way to beat us. Starts with the C and ends with the T.
I'm unlimited. Mr. Unlimited.
What do you think of my defense now?
Say. Hold on a chair. I just want to say, you doubted us, but now we're here.
And you were. It was on again.
Hundreds of deals.
Hundreds? Hundreds.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Morning Show. I've got a message for the Power Trip Morning Show. I say,
Objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear.
Drum begins right now. 5, 3, 2. You know the whole bit. Boy, I tell you what, there's plenty to get to today. First of all, has the Kansas City dynasty starting to crumble? Major League Baseball playoffs continue. A couple of clubs can wrap up their best-of-5 series here in the next day or so. Quarterback controversy continues to swirl here in the Twin Towns. Golden Gophers will try to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and get back at it after a loss to the Ohio State Buckeyes. The reverberations of the controversy between the WNBA commissioner and the Minnesota Lynx continue as well. The Wild, they're about to embark on a 2025-2026 season, as are the Wolves. With all those topics, where do we start? Well, we spin the wheel at the top. And Joe Flacco traded to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Commons golf game.
I wanted to talk about Joe Flacco.
What'd you shoot today?
77.
Where'd we play?
Royal Club, the King and
Where'd
the
you
Queen.
hit it on one?
Right up the gut.
How far from the green was it?
I had an iron in my hand and hit it right smack dab in the middle of it. We actually started on 10. That's where they were aerating fairways 5 and 8, so they started us on the back.
Second shot?
I hit just dead center of the green and two putted for par. I played as well as I've played all year.
Incredible.
I've thrown down a couple of 76s, but the Royal Club is a very challenging golf course for me. And it started yesterday at Loggers, as I told you when I played. I said, I think I found something out here. I think I figured something out. And then I went and played the backside at Loggers a second time and shot one over. And just striking the ball beautifully. I had a couple of lean-tos today where I lean into it and hit some poor shots. 2 of the 3 times I was still able to get up and down for par, and I played about as well as if I played like that every day. I was putting again to probably better than 80% of a PGA Tour players. So it was, I tend to sometimes not enjoy the process, and I'm just so focused on the results that I don't enjoy the tossing the grass up in the breeze and, fiddling around and looking at this. And, you can look at this and you can look at that and you can look at this and you can look at that. And it was just one of those days today, Ted. I mean, I wish you would have been there with me. You don't play golf anymore, do you?
It's been a long time since I had a golf club in my hand.
Got an opening tomorrow if you want to play. You just can't get out anymore.
I got to put kids on the bus in the morning.
Can't you?
Once Viking season starts and then school starts and youth hockey starts, it's over for me.
Wow. Yeah, well, I guess that's the way it goes. Sorry about that.
It's just the way it is.
I'll leave it. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change, as Bruce Hornsby in The Range once sang sung. What's going on? I got nothing. I'm resting on my laurels. I was told yesterday by the program director that I can take a knee. It's been going that well for us. So I'm very excited about where we've been, where we're going, where we're at.
Above average at that.
Did he also tell you good's the enemy of great?
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing that. That's like saying we played our best when our best was required. Blah. I want to just throw up when I hear cliches like that. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you trade Anthony Edwards for Cooper Flagg? Did you see Cooper Flagg yesterday in his debut? Now, I know it's only preseason basketball, right? This kid, I think, has a chance to be really, really good.
Better than Doncic and
well, I don't know. It's early. It's only one game. I mean, it's like I sort of feel about Cooper Flagg how everybody in town feels about J.J. McCarthy. Thinks he's going to be a superstar. I just think Flagg's going to be really, really good. Have we figured out why? It's probably nothing. But remember, I brought up in passing, and then I think we ran out of time. Why didn't Anthony Edwards play the very first preseason game? And you thought to keep him from getting hurt. Well, all the other teams, all their regular players play. All of them do.
There's every preseason game they do?
Well, sure they do. They all play. Joker, that was their first preseason game. He played 19 minutes. Murray, he played 18 minutes. They play. I don't know why Edwards didn't play. Is there something mysterious there, or is it just not that big of a deal? I just wanted to know. I just wanted to remember.
I guess I don't know NBA basketball preseason protocol well enough. I just know, like in hockey, like your Kirill Kaprizovs, maybe of the 6 preseason games, he'll play twice.
Okay.
So I just assume that's what the Wolves are doing with Anthony Edwards, but
maybe they did.
Maybe I shouldn't assume.
Well, maybe that is it. Maybe that's all it is. It just seems a bit odd to me. Because in that game against Denver, all of Denver's players played, and then everybody else on the Wolves played. The only one that was missing, conspicuously absent, was Anthony Edwards. And I was just wondering why. If they just wanted to rest him, or maybe he had a personal thing he needed to do, I don't know. But
load management.
Maybe they're load managing him already here, and it's only preseason. But anyway, I guess that is neither here nor there. At the beginning of the season, you predicted Kansas City and Minnesota in the big game, and you're on your own after that.
It's going well, isn't it?
Do you still feel confident with both of those selections? Kansas City, I don't think there's any reason to panic. I really don't, because they're very good. But I was surprised by that. As a matter of fact, here's the mistake I made. You know how, like, there were people that left the Minneapolis Miracle before the Minneapolis Miracle became the Minneapolis Miracle? And had I not been, Deuce teases me all the time. He goes, if you had not been with our neighbors, father, son, the Hones, Jeff Hone, dad, and Ian Hone, the son, you would have left early. And he's right. I would have left that game early because it looked like the Vikings were done, and it was snowing outside, and it's cold, and I don't want to get in a long line. And I would have left that game. I did it last night when I saw Mahomes doing what is his celebration where what is that? What are those? Kind
of like wiping off his jersey, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. He did the old when he ran it in. He was cocking off. Oh, look at us. We're up 14-0 on the 3-1 Panthers, Jaguars. And lo and behold, I look at my handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device, and Kansas City got beat.
Yeah.
Well, and the football Fabio, the guy with the long hair, Mitch Lawrence. Did you watch any of the game?
I watched the end. Yeah.
Oh, did you watch the beginning?
No, I don't think I saw the very beginning, but
because they were like 4th and goal and decided to go for it, and he did.
I saw the fumble. Yeah,
he decided he was going to jump over it, and the guy just swatted the ball out of his hand, and I thought this is just so Jaguar-like.
Yep.
And it's just how the Chiefs roll, and they're up 14-0.
And that ball couldn't have been closer to the end zone line, like an inch.
Yeah. And when the TV went off, my wife said, that was quick. And I go, this game's over. I thought it was over. I gave up on the Jaguars. Now, I don't feel like I missed out. That's not, on the same level as Minneapolis Miracle or Game 7, 5 minutes after I'm slapping Big Black Jack Morris on the back. So, missing that game is not something that's going to haunt me forever because it's just a regular season game between two teams I don't care about. But I did learn a lesson that it's not over till it's over, and it was not over, and so that was a heck of a ball game, and we've got a great start to the National Football League season. We really do. There's a lot of
who would have thought like Jaguars and Colts would be powers in the AFC?
Exactly. And, the NFC North is still really competitive. Kitty's clinging to a 1-game lead over the Vikings. And here's the thing. The Vikings at 3-2, I think the coach said it. He said, he's proud of the club. The way, and I'm paraphrasing, he didn't use these words, but I think what he was trying to say is we've had a lot of things going against us, particularly injuries. And, but we've been scrappy enough to conjure up a 3-2 record because this team could easily be 0-5 right now, and yet they're 3-2 because they found ways to win. Sunday was a prime example of a game that they were begging to win. The football guys were begging the Vikings to win the game, and they were having trouble doing it. And they came up with they finally stopped the running game of Cleveland. And then Wentz put together just a terrific final drive. And as we talked about yesterday, Addison and Jet, they were instrumental. And now they're 3-2, and they get a bye week. They get some. They're thinking Cashman could be ready by the next game. McCarthy could be ready. I am now beginning to believe they're going to go with McCarthy if he's ready. I don't think they're going to stick with Carson Wentz. I think quarterback whisperer thinks he can conjure some more out. The second time I used the word conjure. He thinks he can draw from deep within McCarthy and turn him into a winning quarterback right out of the gate. We'll find out. Plenty to get to. We'll take a break. What we do, other side of the break, we'll do Peek at the Purple. And Tennessee, I believe, has a keyword for our national cash contest.
Yeah, the fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword deposit at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is deposit. Enter now at KFAN.com. face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets this Saturday as they drop the puck on the brand new Grand Casino Arena. Don't miss a second of the action. Score your seats today at wild.com/tickets.
13:14 pastime common. He is 10 of B. Time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. If you bought an EV recently because you wanted to take advantage of that $7,500 tax credit or rebate that expired, it expired at the end of September, you need one of those level 2 200-volt chargers in your garage. They can fix you up with that. They're really good at it. They've been doing hundreds of them. And if you're a journeyman electrician or an apprentice electrician and you're looking for work, they're looking for you. It's sort of like the Uncle Sam thing. Go ahead and, they have a simple plan. They have competitive wages. You get your own truck. It's a great place to work. So either way, whether you want a level 2 charger, whether you're looking for work or any electrical needs, affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is shockingly, hey, kind of like that. It's shockingly affordable. I saw a piece in The Athletic, Tennessee, and I didn't read it. I just read the headline, but it's I think it's worth
the what?
Oh, it's called The Athletic. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I'm not. It's a online. You could still get a physical. Rosen is the last person to actually buy a physical newspaper and actually read it. Most people now just, get it on their phone. They get the Fish Wrap Factory Westside app, put it on their phone, which is I do. But Athletic, they cover all sorts of sports. They have some of the best writers in the country, all over the country, covering all the sports for good or ill, no matter if it's college, pros, women, men. It's all there for you. Ted, I can't pronounce his last name. Nguyen is how it's spelled, but I don't think it's pronounced that way.
When?
It's spelled Nguyen, Nguyen. Do you know?
Yeah, when? No, that's how you pronounce it.
No, I'm not saying when. I'm saying not. So Ted Nguyen writes a piece, how Cowboys, 49ers, Vikings prove injuries don't always equal doom. It's the Week 5 film review. Film review for Week 5. Lights, camera, action. Well, that's been happening for years. There were a lot of teams that I'll go to one of my favorite teams, the Motor City Kitties. It was Detroit's decimated defense last year, but they continued to win. They went 15-2. And set a National Football League record for, I think, like most man minutes lost or most players lost to injury on the defensive. 18 players that lost on the defensive side of the ball. They lost. It looks like Terry and Arnold might be out again, too, now for a long time. So it happens to every team. Oftentimes, it's not so much, the next man up is equal to or better. If he's better, he should have been starting in the first place. And sometimes they might even be significantly less talented. I think in football, a lot of it has to do, and I'll use the Lions again as an example, their offense was so prolific last year and so good, they led the league in scoring. I think they were averaging something like 33 or 35 points a game. If you score that many points a game, your defense doesn't have to be great because you win a lot of 35, 30 football games. It helps. And it's not all predicated on your offense being really good. But you can navigate the minefield of injuries in the National Football League if one of your units is really, really good. And if you do have good backups in coaching and covering things up. I saw where mine just said he wanted out of the preposterous statement tournament. Craig, what's Craig's first name? Writes for the Fish Wrap Factory.
Craig.
What's that?
Mark Craig.
Mark Craig wrote yesterday. He always does he has 5 different things he points at that happened in the game. He does it every Monday, and it's great stuff. And he was giving a lot of credit to the way O'Connell was able to mask the injuries. In other words, okay, we got an offensive line where, I mean, they ended the game with 4 backups, and I think 3 of them were actually not second stringers, third stringers, and they were still able to win that football game, and they were able to keep the Myles Garrett character pretty much at bay.
Yeah,
I mean, he was virtually a non-factor. So coaching can do it as well. It's if you have coaches that can adapt. Okay, we got an injury over there on that side of the line. Guess what? We're going to have to change things up. The game plan I'd like to put in place, it's probably not going to work the same because I'm missing a left tackle. So guess what? Might have to roll out to the right. Might have to do some misdirection. You do some of the things to cover up. That's where you use tight ends to chip, right? You get tight end. And so some teams are able to do that. So I think it's the teams that, especially if you're injury ravaged on offense or defense, if your other side, let's say it's defense, in the case of the Vikings, it's offense, their defense is still pretty darn good. Now, they had trouble against the run. Now, again, Pittsburgh and Cleveland are not 2 of the best teams in football. We know that. But they still field a team. We'll see if the Vikings continue to have injury issues, how they're able to navigate that when they start playing the Philadelphias, the Detroits
Mm-hmm. The Chargers
The Chargers is. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's why I said for the Vikings to be 3-2, I'm pretty impressed that they've been able to. Again, it hasn't been the stiffest competition in the world, but to be 3-2 with as many injuries as
given what they've had to go through.
Yes, given what they had to go through, I think it's. I don't know.
I mean, every team gets injuries, and your team knows it as well as anyone last year. But to have that much on your offensive line, especially when all you ever hear about from the football guys,
trenches,
the Pete Bursiches of the world, the Ben Liebers of the world, is got to have chemistry on the offensive line. Well, we haven't had like the same 5 guys next to each other the entire time. You're bringing in guys who have never played a certain position. You're bringing in guys who have never played in the National Football League before, undrafted free agents. Your best offensive lineman's on a pitch count. I mean, that performance against Cleveland, just for that offensive line alone,
yes,
given their limitations, was very, very impressive.
Well, the is it Brandel?
Yes,
that's how you say it, right? Brandel. It's not
like Brandel.
It's not. Is it Brandel?
I think it might be Brandel.
Brandel,
but I can't confirm.
Well, let's go with Brandel for now.
Identify yourself.
You know what? Here's what I'll tell you. I'm gonna take a page out of Rosen's book. Just pronounce it any way you want it, right? Some days
Granlund.
Some days we'll do it Brandel. Other days we'll do Brandel. Today we'll do Brandel. Look, I'm not. I don't want in at the risk of idolizing and pedestalizing and making football more complicated than it is, to have never played center before. Because it's a whole different thing because you got to snap the ball. Then you got you got a guy trying to, you got a big nose guard in front of you, a nose tackle in front of you. And to not have played it, that's pretty impressive. They get a week off. They should get some players back. We'll see how it works. Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Affordable-electric.com is the place to go. I got an email with a question about the Wolves, and I think it raises some interesting issues, Tennessee, and it might even be, dare I say, controversial. That's next.
That's interesting.
Yes. Common Man program here on the Fan.
Comedians Hassan Minaj and Ronnie Chang hate each other, and they're taking it public. Catch Hassan Hates Ronnie. Ronnie Hates Hassan at the Orpheum Theater Saturday, November 1st. 2 comedy legends. 1 epic roast battle. Enter for your shot at a pair of tickets today at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
You think that's funny? Getting ready to laugh your face off. Just a couple of pickpockets. It's the Petty Theft Tour with Common Man and Meat Sauce. We're set to take over Max is on the Green and Spicer this Saturday night. Doors at 4:30. Show at 7:30. Larry Mondello guy will be there as well. You can get tickets through Eventbrite.com. They're cheap. Dirt cheap, as a matter of fact. We're going to give away a pair of tickets, though, and they have a hotel there. You can do playing. They got a golf course, hotel, and they restaurant, nightclub.
Sounds like a romantic weekend.
It sounds like a romantic weekend.
Yeah.
Bring your gal, play a little golf.
Guys trip.
Play a little golf.
Gals trip.
And then laugh your face off. So we'll give away those tickets a little bit later. There was something I was going to ask you before I got to my other topic, but I can't remember what that was now, so I'll just go right to this. Somebody sent this email to me at common@kfan.com on Sunday evening. It says, Common, I'm concerned that the question has to even be asked. And this is from, and I read this, I think this is either Fish Wrap, East or West, or from the Athletic, or it could be both. It says, in his media day appearance, Ant stated that, quote, the most important thing I have learned is that teams that go deep into the playoffs, they are together. They care about each other. It's easy to say we're brothers. I think it starts in the summertime. It starts with being together. That night, the entire team went out to dinner. According to Conley, this would be Mike Conley, the discussion came around a team commitment. Are we coming here to put on a show, perform, or are we trying to win a championship? Said Conley, the 38-year-old vet entering what could be his final NBA season. And the consensus was, we're trying to win a championship. And we'll go back to the very first, the first sentence of this email is, I'm concerned that the question has to be even asked. Aren't you, in other words, I think the email is suggesting, well, shouldn't that be the number one goal when you go to training camp and enter a season, is to try to win a championship, not just put on a show? But my response to him was, maybe back in the olden days, and I don't even know how far back we have to go to olden days, but with the obscene amounts of money these kids are paid, and think of how young NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB, these are all really young kids. Go back. I mean, I go back to when I was 18, 19, 20, 21. Wow. I got a lot of skeletons in my closet. I'm not going to get into all of them, but I was really woefully unprepared to attack the world the way you're supposed to attack it. And, because you just, and then you take it to the next level where these guys they have hundreds of millions of dollars foisted upon them. They're idolized, they're pedestalized, and every one of their wants and needs is met by the organization and by those around them, the hangers-ons and those kinds of things that maybe sometimes it's such a, you're almost living in a make-believe world that you maybe don't think about, especially when you're young, about championships and legacy and establishing something and taking your job really seriously. We talk about it all the time in the NBA where, after a game when the team loses, you'll hear quotes. It happens here with the Wolves all the time. The other team just tried harder. Huh? What do you mean they tried harder? So you hear those things. So maybe this was a conversation that did need to take place. Sure. What are we here to do? Are we just here because we're making big money? It's all guaranteed. At the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, they can't take the money from us. I've got the money. Now, you might not get another contract eventually. Remember Spreewell, got to feed my family, turn it down. But maybe that needed to be talked about. I would say this, it shouldn't need to be, didn't need to be like a vote. It was a consensus. The consensus are we're trying to win a championship. So did they all take a vote? How many here want to win a championship? Raise your hand. How many people just want to put on a show? And how many don't care either way? But
because even if you think that way, you're still not going to raise your hand for it. You're not going to acknowledge that you did it. So how many of those guys are even telling the truth?
So, but when you're coming off back to back, because we were in the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years, right?
Yep.
The old bum Phillips got to the door, knocked on the door. If you were a team that you've made the playoffs 2 years in a row, but you got beat in the first round both years back to back. Well, maybe deep down, if you're really being honest with yourself, we ain't playing for no championship. We're not good enough. Look at the rest of the league. Look at our conference. There's too many good teams. We don't have the talent to match up. But when you have a team that's been to 2 Western Conference Finals, you've got arguably a top 10 player in the league and maybe even top 5. A guy that I think you said, did you say there were nobody in the league you would trade for, Ant?
That was Rosen.
That was Rosen. He said there's not a player in the league that he would trade Anthony Edwards. And you can make that argument. I'm not saying it's preposterous.
I'd have to think about it.
I just, you know me, I just love to you know, you even said, well, Common, you got your jaw dropped open like it's a crazy question. I just think there are some other players that I think I might want. I don't know. You know, Joker, he's really good.
SGA.
SGA, you know, and sometimes when you're talking big men, like it came up with Wembanyama.
Yeah.
He seems to be just, at such a young age, he's already becoming a dominant player that I look at him and I say, mate, you know, gosh, would I want to have him more than? And, you know, and you can make an argument for any one of those. But when you have one of the top 5, let's call him a top 5 player in the league and maybe the best. And then you've got a lot of other pieces around him. I mean, the Randall guy played well last year. After a slow, shaky start, he came back from injury. He was instrumental in getting him to the Western Conference Finals. DiVincenzo, what do you want to do today? What would you want to call him?
Let's go DiVincenzo.
So DiVincenzo, he also got off to a slow down. Wasn't he injured for a while too, or was that just Randall? Whatever the case may be.
Randall was.
He all of a sudden started making 3-pointers. He started playing well. He started doing the things he used to do that made him good. And then we add, the Gobert. Who's the guy we lost to free agency? Is it Nah or no? Who did we?
Yeah, we did lose Nah.
We lost Nah.
We lost Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah. And, you know, again, that's not, you know, it's like, well, I guess the consensus is we're playing for a show. We can't win a ship without him. But he was very good for the club. But
did we lose Slow-Mo this year? Or was that last year?
I think maybe we lost Slow-Mo last year.
Okay. It's hard to remember.
It's hard to remember. But all that being said, and then we've got, you know, I'm really intrigued. Rosie wants to see him play down in G League. I want to see him start with the big club, and we're talking about.
So does Jim Peterson, apparently.
Jim Peterson. We want to see Beranger. Somebody tried to correct my pronunciation. They sent me a text message or an email that said it's not Beranger. You're doing too much on the all. But if you Google it, pronunciation, and then I hear the pronunciation person say Beranger. And in French, it would be Beranger. He says Ron, like Beranger. So the official pronunciation and I don't know how you pronounce his first name. It looks like Joan. And Joan of Arc was from France. And so they say Joan of Arc. They don't say Johan or Joan. It's Joan of Arc. So that this would be Joan Beranger. And I like the idea of starting with the big club. This, you know, if you're going to throw a rookie,
so according to Wikipedia, which isn't the final statement because there can be fakes.
Okay,
it's Johan Beranger.
Beranger. Berat.
Now that's without me knowing how to put enunciation on certain syllables. But
say that the middle.
So here's how it's spelled out phonetically.
Okay.
YOH. So yo dash AHN, but that part's capitalized. So Johan, and then it's BAIR, all capital.
Okay. Bear.
Hyphen IN, lowercase.
Beranger.
Hyphen ZHAY, which are all capitalized.
Right,
so Johan Beranger. But I don't know how to roll the R's or anything.
Beranger. No other show would dare tackle this topic.
No.
I want to see him with the big club. I mean, if they're, think about this. What's the most important and most difficult position to play in all of sports tend to be? Think Notorious D.I.D.
That would be the quarterback.
They're throwing rookies in to play quarterback in the NFL. Rookies. J.J. McCarthy. Now, I know he's not technically a rookie, but never took a snap in a regular season game. He's your starting quarterback. Caleb Williams, he was your starting quarterback. Jaden Daniels, he's your starting quarterback. So why is it so preposterous to start? Now, again, I know these kids have been playing football for quite some time, and the Beranger has only been playing hoops for 3 years. So I know there was a difference in experience, but it's just basketball. You dribble, You pick it up, you pass it to somebody, you shoot. If there's a guy in front of you, you try to defend him. And if he takes a shot, you put up your hand and try to block it. And if the ball misses and you're in the vicinity of the basket, you try to get the rebound. And then you look for a fast break to see if one of your teammates is streaking down the court. It's not that difficult. It's hard to play at the level that they do, but it's a very simplistic game. So I would take the big kid and play him. His hero, apparently, the guy he looks up to, is the Stifle Tower. The other Frenchman, Gobert. In America, you would just say Gobert, but the French pronunciation is Gobert. So let Gobert put his wing, take him under his wing, put his arm around him, and guide him in the National Basketball Association. And you know what? If you play him, a few minutes here and a few minutes there, and he's got like 2 left feet and he's overwhelmed, well, then send him back down. Say, or not back down, but say, you know what? Maybe you need some seasoning in the G. What if he comes out and he's just a monster right out of the gate? We won't know till we play him. They're not a G League. So that's the one thing about Finchy. And he's not the only one, because the coach we used to have here, the guy that's with the Knicks now, with the bad comb over. He coaches the Knicks. What's his name?
Thibodeau.
Tibbs.
Or it's Thibodeau, I guess.
Well, can we look that one up? Is it Thibodeau or Thibodeau?
The nickname is Tibbs, but you pronounce it Thibodeau, so it makes no sense.
So I'm going to start calling him Thibs. So Thibs I think he's got the same reputation that Finch does. You play 8 guys and nobody else. If you've got to go to a 9th guy, it's almost like they break out in hives, right? I can't go deeper than 3 guys on the bench. I just can't do it. They don't trust these guys. And then we've seen what happens. So then when we need the Rob Dillinghams and the Shannon Spencer. Terrence Shannon Jr. Well, yeah, we need them, but guess what? They've barely played. They're not ready to play.
Well, maybe they barely played because they're all about showtime as opposed to trying to win ships.
Maybe that's
the problem.
Maybe so
until they want to forget about the personal showtime stuff and want to actually play team basketball that can help us win a ship, then you can play.
And the consensus was we are trying to win a championship. Now, consensus. Can you look up the word consensus?
Yeah.
Because before I jump to some conclusions here and start a controversy, because I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
Maybe there were some Wolves players that voted to put on a show. Because the consensus.
Consensus. Majority of opinion?
Majority.
Or general agreement or concord, harmony.
So majority opinion or general agreement. Now, generally, they may have all agreed. But what if it is a majority? What if there's 15 guys? What if 5 said, I just want to put on a show? I have no interest in winning awards. We can't win a world championship. I don't care about that. I just want to put on a show. Maybe that's all Dillingham and Shannon want to do. I don't know. Maybe they just want to put on a show. That's why they haven't played. And we don't have Garza anymore, right?
No, he's gone. Well, we don't need him because we got Johan
Beranger. So I like the makeup of our club, and we'll see how that goes. But they were sure. Well, they do get carried away, So I'm watching. I don't know where I saw it. I think it was just on CBSSports.com on my phone. They basically have CBS Sports is already chiseling out a bust in Canton for Cooper Flagg after one preseason game. One preseason game. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I mean, they literally have him.
They're planting their flag, is what they're saying.
They're planting they've got him canonized already. I saved the story. It was it's here in my handheld, which doubles as. Here it is. Mavericks Cooper Flagg showcases legit point guard chops in sensational NBA preseason debut. Sensational. Prior to Cooper Flagg's preseason debut with the Mavs on Monday night, NBA reporter Mark Spears went on ESPN and questioned why the hype around Flagg hasn't been bigger. Here's what Spears said. Where's the Cooper Flagg train? I don't get it. NBA, what are you doing? Why aren't you promoting this guy? Get on the train. Get on board before the coming man. Give him the raise that he so richly deserves. Before this dude is going to be a star. Nobody's talking about this guy, and they're making a mistake. This is what he did in his first preseason game today. In 14 minutes, all in the first half, Flagg stuffed the stat sheet. He stuffed it to the tune of 10 points on 3 for 6 shooting, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. He sunk 2 of his 3 3-pointers and didn't commit a single turnover, despite operating essentially as Dallas's point guard. Flagg was barely on the court for a minute before he recorded his first highlight, flying in for a weak side block to ignite a Dallas fast break with street clothes, finished with an alley-oop slam. Street clothes did. Note Flagg running his lane hard after the block to keep the defense from being able to commit to cutting off Davis on the other side. In other words, they're complimenting Flagg for playing the play all the way out and not dogging it down the court. I just find that funny that, they have to point that out. He actually kept going down the court. He didn't just after he made the rebound on the outlet pass, just stand there and watch. A la Paul Allen.
Sure.
When we used to play pickup basketball, PA would just play one side of the court. Still my favorite moment in all of sports. And I'm talking greatest Game 7 in World Series history, Minneapolis Miracle, you name, down goes Frazier, you name any of the greatest moments in sport. The Miracle on Ice is one. PA when I was going. I just was so much fun. We're playing, and he would play on the offensive, and then he would just stand in the middle of the paint on the defense, and he would put his hands on his knees and breathe hard. And so it was 5-on-4. And I go, hey, we got a guy that don't like to play defense. Let's go. Let's pour it on. And then he got mad because I called him out in front of him. No! So then, anytime I get the ball, he was all over me like this, just in my face, being the tryhard.
I wish I had video of that. I would love to watch that.
Was so good. He was so annoyed with me. One of the rare times he was annoyed with me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Here's one. Everyone had Arch Manning in Cooperstown also, and they did. They were already in Texas.
Because of his last name.
Yes, exactly. And Texas is now, for the first, both Texas and who just lost to UCLA? Penn State. Both dropped out of the top 25, and that's the first time those two teams have not been in the top 25 since 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. Because Texas got beat again because of all, again, they wanted to anoint Manning, and I think he had a nice high school career. I'm sure he did, right? And so immediately he's a Heisman Trophy favorite. He's going to take them. Think of Ohio State was the defending national champions. And they had Texas ranked higher than Ohio State. That was only one spot, 1 and 2, but it was all because of Arch Manning. The voters got carried away because they thought it's a Manning. We've already seen 3 other Mannings play pretty good. Archie, the old man, was pretty good. He was just saddled with bad teams. He played with the Saints all those years, but he was a good quarterback. And then we know about Peyton and Eli. They got 4 big games between them. Did they each won 2?
Yes.
So they got 4 big games between them. Manning, Peyton's got, I think, an MVP or 2. Did Eli ever win the MVP? I don't think he did he?
I doubt it.
But
he was never considered a top quarterback.
But he, so I guess they just assumed, 2's company, 3's a crowd, and the 4th time's a charm. And they just thought Arch was going to be great, and he could still develop. But it does go to show you that the coronation of these people before they really have an opportunity to play sometimes is a bit much, and it's proven that here as well. So that'll be interesting to see. God, I thought it was just before 1 o'clock, but I ate my lunch already, and we had the PJ Fleck show a little bit early. Did you listen to any of Fleck, or is it kind of go in one ear and out the other because you're doing other things?
I don't listen to him a whole lot.
Yeah, because I just wonder. I know that after the game, there's nobody that can put a more positive spin on a 42-3 beatdown.
I will say, early on, PJ, I did hear the part where he was talking about, we really didn't beat ourselves, right? We only had 2 penalties. Yeah. We didn't turn the ball over. He made it seem like he didn't think they played that bad. They're just the team they were playing. He basically said was the best team he's ever coached against.
Which I do admire, but he did say there were a lot of good things to take out of the tape there. Other than if you consider 1 of 11 on third down conversions good to take off tape, I guess that's great. But yeah, they're just on a whole nother level, and that goes back to about when we talked about the being delusional thing that he said. That is delusional to think that you can get into that because. Ohio State might be on a different level, but there are. I bet there's another dozen teams that are close to that. Oregon and some of the others. But let's take a break and come back, and we welcome Mark Rosen into the conversation next year on the Fan.